to see everything that is in place. So that is what that has activated my senses. For example, another thing, your ear, sound. What am I hearing? For example, you are outside, there are so many signs going around. Maybe gari inapita, maybe mtu anafanya mambo zingine, anagonga gonga. So sound is what I'm hearing, and this also can stimulate what? Your senses, to activate them for you to be able to hear. Another thing is smell. Smell is another, it happens when your nose is activated, that hiyo smell unaanza kusikia kuna harufu fulani. Naweza kudistinguish between hii ni mbovu na hii ni harufu mzuri. Another thing is touch. Touch is pressure for your skin. Nikivaa nguo, I feel warm. That touch, I have come contact with something from an environment. Or when someone taps me, I'll be able to feel that sensation in my skin. So another thing is taste. I'll be able to know water is tasteless. How did I know that water is tasteless? Na nikajua juice is sweet. So these are just an example of what stimulation is. And when we also look at it that way, itatusaidia tujue ni nini hiyo nilikuwa nimesikia. Maybe kusikia kwako, maybe from the time you were born, you have heard so many things. So many occurrences have happened. And maybe from those occurrences, they have defined your perception. Another thing is that is just one type of stimulation, whereby we call it external stimulation, yenye inakujia those senses za body yako. Another type of stimulation is internal stimulation. Internal stimulation come from inside your body. This is where I'm going to dwell in for a little bit. Internal stimulation inakuja kutoka inside your body. For example, hunger. Utajuaje uko hunger? Hiyo ni kitu yenye inatokana na ndani yangu, haitokani na nje. Si kama vile nitajua hapa nimegonga nisikie that sound, inatoka from outside my environment. But what is coming from inside is stimulation also, and forms the basis of the process of perception. Nitajuaje niko na njaa? Ni kitu yenye imetoka ndani yangu. Another thing is pain. Pain also is another type of internal stimulation. How will I know that nimesikia uchungu mahali? Maybe nimegongwa. Maybe for example where I'm sitting on, nikiweza enda kumove my hand this way, nigongwe na meza, I'll feel pain. But it is going to from inside, whereby there is something that is going to communicate to my brain that kuna kitu imefanya nisikie uchungu. But if it is this object to this object, it is just an external stimulation from environment. So this one, pain, emotions, is another type of internal stimulation. How am I feeling? I'm sad. Something from inside is happening that ikanifanya nisikie sad. Thoughts, that's why we say that your thoughts can influence your perception, because it is a certain kind of internal stimulation that is from my inside. So it is coming from inside, and it is forming the basis and the process of perception beyond what I can see. So because our topic is about thoughts and perception, I'm going to look at it that thoughts are formed through a process called internal stimulation, which is the basis of perception process. So our thoughts can influence our perception. What are you thinking right now? What this thinking inatokana na nini? Is it because someone wronged you? Is it because of my past experiences that I have not dealt with? Maybe one way or another zinafanya niweze kuhisi hivyo vile ninahisi. I was rejected, maybe for example, rejectiwa in my younger age. Maybe sijaipata mtu mwenye anani embrace. it can form your thoughts. It can be that is the basis of what I'm thinking. Maybe if I try to do something, a thought might come from nowhere and tell me, you know, you cannot do this one is not going to help you. So it becomes an internal stimulation whereby inaeza kuwa imekuwa. You know, I'll always tell my clients that thoughts, they grow. They are like seeds that you plant to your mind. They can grow. Maybe this growth of certain kind of thoughts, maybe negative thoughts, zimekuwa, zika accumulate, and then they formed that way of perception that I'm perceiving right now. Maybe it's that kind of fear. Maybe you want to start something, but you're just fearing that anything might happen. Something might happen that yenye haikufurahishi. So you start forming the basis of your perception. That's why you can hear someone saying that that person ama perceive hiyo kitu, inaona ni kana kwamba kuna kitu haiko mzuri ndani yake. That's how we are able to detect that this person akona depression. Why? It is a thought, an internal stimulation yenye ilianza maybe some weeks ago, maybe so many years ago, and then when that stimulation inakuanga every now and then, it is going to form my perception, and my perception can either be good or bad. So when you see someone that their perception is not okay, we can always try to look at it from that perspective. What kind of experiences did this person go through? People go through trauma. What kind of memories do they hold in their thoughts or in their mind? So this also is going to make us know that this person anapitia kitu kama hii. That's why tunaweza sema, na kuligana na vile huyo ameniongelesha, there is something. It is internal stimulation yenye imefanya ukuwe na that kind of perception at that moment. Perception inaweza kuwa, maybe I was perceiving something bad ama vibaya. I was perceiving something not in a good way, maybe some days ago. But right now, after maybe going through learning or self-reflection, I was able to know that this is not good. This is what I want to do, so that my perception can be okay, and so that my own health, and how I'm relating with other people inaweza kuwa iko katika hali mzuri. So this one was just to show you how perception can be influenced by our thoughts. Okay, so another thing that I want to talk about is that an example is that when someone claps near you, the sound waves stimulates your ears. Or when you smell food, aroma stimulates your nose. So let it be that you are learning from what I'm teaching here. I don't want it to look like I'm giving a lecture, because I have so many notes here, right and center. But all I want is for you to connect with me, with what I'm saying. Understand your perception. Understand your thoughts. Ni nini hiyo? I don't want to go to number 2 because time is not going to allow us to go to number 2. So I want us to stick here and look. Maybe you can start reflecting based on the state that I am in right now. Kama for example, if you are sad, try to look at it from what have I been going through of late. Ni mtu tumegobana na yeye. Maybe you got into a heated argument with someone, or maybe ulikuwa umejua kuna kitu unafaa kushughulikia ndani yako na ukaanza. Maybe you started that journey, I want to rectify this ili niweze kupata the desired results that I want to get. And maybe in that process, one thing imeenda wrong, and then your perception imekuwa blinded. Your perception inaweza kuwa blinded because of so many biases, especially kama kuna kitu hiyo kitu ulikuwa umeperceive in that negative way for so long. Even rectifying it ikuwe in a good way, it is still a process. So this perception, it comes through like it's a journey whereby you have to realize that if it is something that I am working on, how am I supposed to handle myself? How am I supposed to handle myself so that I be able, nikuange yule mtu mwenye I know that my perception is right here. Sawa sawa. If you've been struggling with anger management, these are the types of emotions that people have. Some people, we don't know how to control anger. And maybe you told yourself, I have come to realize that these anger issues that I'm having, they are blinding, they are blurring my perception. And when I'm about to do something, ninashindwa kufanya. Or when I'm about to enter in a relationship or to maintain my relationships, it is becoming even more harder. So where do I start? Or how do I handle myself? So this kind of perception that I want to have, ikuage it's something that it's a continuous learning. Sindio? So it is good that you ask yourself, where do I start? Perception is something yenye iko ndani sana, beyond what I can see. It is beyond what we can see. It's surrounding you. So this is the internal stimulation that I'm talking about. Unapata wakati mwingine you are not even prepared to have certain kind of mood. It is quite normal. But if you want your perception to change, you have also to hold yourself accountable and tell yourself that yes, I'm in this journey of knowing how I can handle my challenges. I'm in this journey whereby I know that I am in a work in progress. When I'm in a work in progress, and I want to see myself change in a certain area. So how does that change come by? If I want my perception to be okay, that change can only come through if I make a decision. How I make a decision that every day, we are human beings. Naeza jipata nimeongea kitu and then nijiulize, why did I speak like that? Or I hurt someone without knowing. But you have to keep on telling yourself that I have to make a decision that every day I have to be decisive on how I'm perceiving things, or on how I'm handling my own self. Okay? So this is something yenye you put yourself into. How you make your daily choices. For example, utaosha vyombo, it is a habit yenye unajuanga whether rains comes, whether sunshine goes down, whether the sun goes down, this particular task I have to do it. So even when it comes to managing yourself, those emotions, apart from saying that I am praying, yes, it is okay. Prayer will always help you, okay? But it is a decision, okay? Even when I'm praying, there are some things that I need to work on. So I have to tell myself that every day I have to make a decision to reflect on how my day was. Ni wapi nilipata nilizozana na mtu fulani. Then I apply my learning and tell myself, this one I might have gone wrong, this one, but I have to remind myself that I am learning. Okay? Just like you do your daily tasks. I will clean my body. I'm going to put on my shoes, put on my clothes, because at the end of the day, hautakaa hivyo bila guo. So that decision that you have always made, ikakuwa tu ni kama a habit. Unconsciously unaifanya tu bila kujua. Even when it comes to perceiving how you are going to handle yourself emotionally, it is going to help you to do it even more easier. You tell yourself, hey, what did I do today? When after a day you do that self-reflection, you ask yourself, ni nini leo nilifanya nikafeel vizuri about myself. Naona ni nini hiyo baya nilifanya na ninaona ninahitaji to do something about it so that I can continue bettering it. Naona this thing we are talking about is not about I attain a certain kind of perfection, no, so that I can continue to being the best version of myself. Naona every day, but this has to come through I have to decide. Ni huyo mtu mwenye nimeishi kumweka kwa roho yangu, ninaona huyu mtu sidhani kama hadi ninaweza mforgive. You have all the reason to show you that I can't forgive this person. That is what that is containing your bitterness, or what you are feeling at that moment. And you know that feeling at the end of the day is going to make you not be okay. You are going to feel like, you are going to think that you are okay, but you are not going to be okay. It comes from deciding. Now you take yourself, you picture yourself, I'm going to decide about this thing. That's when your perception will begin to change. You begin thinking of yourself now, if I'm that kind of a person, I don't apologize. Then you start initiating it, perceiving it from your inside. Begin seeing yourself that I can apologize for this matter. Okay, so all these things are very important for you to know, and to help someone maybe who is struggling with their perception. And when you see someone their perception is not what you like, also take time from your end and try to understand you yourself. Why also you cannot understand that person? You're also perceiving. So all this, I can see time is not on our side. All I wanted to say is that beware of where that perception ilianza, ilitoka wapi. My experiences, is it my thoughts? Ama nikikaa chini, maybe because of vile nimezoea, it has become a habit, lazima nizoe kuna kitu baya itanihapenia, it will form the basis of my perception. So even when I'm in the midst of people who are genuine, I'll not be able to recognize that. I'll still see, unaona, what that is not good. Hiyo ndo inakuwa ni perception yako. Unaelewa? And then if everyone was to understand that, then I don't know, we would be living very well. Unaelewa? If someone wrongs you, do you hurry kusema huyo mtu ni mbaya hadi sitakuwa naongea na yeye? It means that there are some things that you really need to work on, so that your perception can be right. Ukizoea kukua yourself, you are able to tame yourself on how you are perceiving things. Even perceiving other people, it becomes easier. You will not have that time kuanza kufikiria huyu ni mtu ni mbaya ama si mbaya. You will know by how they are talking, and when you know how they are talking or how they are behaving, that will be enough information of knowing how to handle them, but not rightly going say judging it all by yourself. I'm not going to be near this person. We have had such kind of experiences whereby we are wronged. Nasikia vibaya sana, alafu unafikiria huyu mtu sitaki hadi kumuongelesha. At the end of the day, you find yourself doing it. So perception is very, very, very key. And because I don't want to go to the next thing, maybe you can write down. Ukikuwa mahali tu huko, you can just reflect on yourself. Maybe 2 hours ago, how did I speak to someone? Niliongea aje kuhusu huyo mtu, na how did that form my perception? Some things zikikosa kuangaliwa ndizo zinaformingi that kind of poor perception yenye kila mtu hafurahii nayo. Napata mtu fulani akisema ni nani alifanya? Nilijua tu. Kwa sababu this that perception ilijiform kitambo. Huyu mtu anafanyanga hivi. They have never realized that this something is not working well with them. Okay, so from today, sit down, ask yourself questions, challenge yourself by asking yourself difficult questions. Those are going to help you to challenge the way you see things. Naelewa? Like for example, in the morning nilikuwa nimekasirika. Sijui hadi nilikuwa nimekasirika sana. I felt like I don't want to talk about it. And then I started slowly by slowly, even in my high temper, whatever that I was in, nikaanza kujiuliza, now because you are like this, I started asking myself questions. So while I was asking myself those questions, nilianza kuona the things that I need to change and the things that I need to maintain. Na hiyo mzigo iliniondokea once, nikajiuliza, hey, this feels so good. It is because I was not challenging myself. I had to make a choice. I have to challenge. I don't want to continue with this feeling. Imagine sometimes you can be wronged in the morning. You continue with that feeling. Ama you have wronged someone. You continue with that energy the rest of your day. So I started challenging myself using questions. Naelewa? Now, I started telling myself, this is something that I have been working on. How comes imekuja ika happen hivi? I started doing that self-reflection. And at the end of the day, my perception changed. I was not in the right perception at that particular moment, but it changed, and I felt that I have done something. So this is work in progress. Every one of us, we are work in progress. We if you are a Christian, it's like you are desiring to be more like Christ. So this is something that we need, even when it comes to your soul. Choose. Sawa. Choose. And this is going to be very, very good. Tunaambiangwa, when you start something, unachuzingi to do it. Even when it comes to everything that concerns your life, choose. Your emotions, choose. So thank you so much for those who are listening. Thank you. Next time we are going to continue with the process of perception. I hope that has helped you. I'm your dear host, Rispa Karo.